Okay, sorry about that. I accidentally pushed the stop button, and so this video is broken into two parts. Okay, so here's our equation in terms of x. Now we know that this is a upward facing parabola, right? So this is going to allow us to go find the x value that is the minimum for areas. Well, how do we do that? Well, the first is we set up our equation to find the vertex, right? The vertex here is the minimum. And so we have negative 8 all over 2 times 2, or in other words, 8 over 4, which is equal to 2. Right, so this tells us the x value. And then finally, if we want the actual area, well, we should just take our 2 and go plug it into our equation. So we have 8 times 2 plus 16, and this should all simplify down to, we have 2 squared, 4 times 2, 8, minus 16 plus 16, we should get an answer of 8. Okay, and now on to question 10. Question 10, yeah, sorry about breaking this into 2 videos. So question 10 says find all the zeros, and essentially this just boils down to if we know how to factor. So we're looking for 2 numbers that multiply to be negative 33, and they add up to be negative 8. And so let's go ahead, we'll write this down, x squared minus 8x. We have y is equal to x squared minus 8x minus 33. 33 and an 8 there, huh? And so if it's looking for the zeros, again, it really wants us to factor and find the zeros. We're going to take our equation, our function, and set it equal to 0. And I know that for x squared, there's only one real way to break apart an x squared. And now I'm looking for 2 numbers that multiply to be 33, negative 33, and they add up to be negative 8. Well, the 33, that's kind of a weird number, right? There's 1 and 33, or 33 and 1, and then there's 11 and 3. Those are my only options. And so because they're adding up to be negative 8, I know that my negative 1 should probably be the one that has a greater value of 11. And the 3 is the other. And you can always go check, right? So negative 11 times positive 3, negative 33, negative 11 plus 3, negative 8. And we are good to go. Now be careful, right? Very easy mistake is to say, hey, my zeros are negative 11 and positive 3. But remember, you're setting each one of these equal to 0. So x is equal to 11, and x is equal to negative 3 would be your zeros. Let's go back. Let's check. Solve it for us. And negative 3 and 11. Okay, let's go to our next one here. Now this is even nicer, right? What are our zeros? And it's already factored for us, right? So if it's already factored for us, let's just go down our path here, right? 5, nothing to do here. X minus 1, well, that means we have a 0 at 1. We have an x squared plus 9, right? This is kind of the tricky one where they try to get you. There's no way that we can take a number, positive or negative, and square it and get a negative 9, right? We would need a negative 9 plus 9 to be a 0. So this x squared plus 9, we actually don't even need to pay attention to because it can't produce a 0. Right? There's no value I can plug in and square that will give me a negative 9 plus a 9. And then finally we have the x plus 7, and we can write down negative 7. Notice the squared here is applied to the x. The squared here is outside of the x plus 7. Okay, and that was 11. And let's see, let's since I've broken this now into 4 videos, let's go ahead and just do 12 as well. Now we had rules, and I'm going to go remind us here on my whiteboard for all these things. I created a little matrix for us, right? So we said we had the options. We're going to talk about even or odd. And this was the highest degree. And then we also had coefficients. And really what we were considering was it positive or negative? And we made this whole chart here. And I'm just going to say right, I'm going to do quick abbreviations because we've already gone over this. So for even, right, if it's a positive coefficient in the front, on the right side, we're going to rise. And on the left side, we're going to rise. And notice that if we switch it to a negative coefficient, everything just changes. Instead of rising, we're going to fall on the right side, and same thing here, we're going to fall. And this is going to be a common pattern. Even with the odd ones, if we have a positive coefficient, on the left side, we're going to be falling. And on the right side, we're going to be rise. And as soon as we switch to a negative coefficient, guess what happens? Everything just changes. The left side is now rising and the right side is now falling. I know I went through that quickly. Hopefully you were there for class, and this is just a quick reminder. So now when we go back, we have our rules, and we're looking for the highest degree, right? So our highest degree is a degree 4, so we have an even degree. And this is a positive 1 in front, so we are rising to the left and rising to the right. For B, we have a odd, right, raised to the 5th power, and it is a negative coefficient, so we are rising to the left and falling to the right. And this one is a little bit tricky, right? Think of the highest degree here. If I took my negative 4x, multiplied it by this x, multiplied it by this x, it would be a degree 3. So we do have a odd, and it is negative again. So it's the same as B essentially. Rises to the left and falls to the right. Awesome. Okay, so that is it for part 2 of video 2. I will see you in video 3. It will be one video going through the rest of 13 through 17. So I will see you there.